Hello. I'm so glad you could make it here today. I first of all want to say thank you to everybody who responded to the invitation. Whether it was yes, no, or maybe, I really appreciate it. And some of you even commented, and that was awesome too, because then I got to explain a little bit what this was going to be about. So a big thank you to everybody who participated by commenting or responding yes, no, or maybe. So I also want to say that I do these broadcasts every day, but I'm not going to send out an invitation every day because I think that would get overwhelming to people and they would be very angry with me and probably block me, and I don't want that because that is defeating the whole purpose of doing these broadcasts. So I probably was thinking maybe like twice a month I would do the invitations. So that'll be, I think, not too overwhelming. It might not even be twice a month. It might be once a month because I don't know. I just think that it's a lot of work for really not. It really isn't necessary, is what I'm saying. I think once a month is probably plenty to kind of just remind people that, hey, I'm doing these broadcasts. So anyway, today we're going to focus on the core. And the verse we're going to start off with is Philippians 4:4. Rejoice in the Lord always. Well, how does one do that? In spite of the circumstances, you need to be centered on the will of Jesus, the will and purpose of Jesus Christ. The core is to be centered on Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is the core. So Romans 12:12 says to be faithful in hope, patient in affliction, faithful in prayer. That's the NIV version. Can you think of a time where you've had to be patient in affliction? I could think of plenty of times, and I'm sure you can too. You know, a lot of times it's hard to stay patient when people are, getting on you, but you have to be. So if you are focused on Jesus, then you are living your life focused on the core. We have to yield our own personal preferences. We can't say, but God, I want to do it my way. But God isn't saying it's my way or no way. Jesus is all about sharing. So I needed to check a message, and I don't need to look at that message right now. I thought it was important, but it's not important right now. So, but I did say yield. I didn't say stop or forgo. I said yield. God isn't saying that it's always going to be His way. It's just that sometimes God knows the best way to get what you want. Like sometimes we think we know the better way to go, but really God knows the better way to go. And we know what we want, but sometimes we think we know the way to get there, but we don't. We really don't know the way. We need to follow Jesus, and He will show us the way. So it's hard to be joyful when times are bad, though. It's so easy to be joyful and praising God when things are going good, but then when things are going bad, you're like, Jesus, help me. What are you doing to me? And so we need to be joyful because that is really a test of our faith. Is if you can be joyful when things are going bad, that is really a test. So when times are tough, it's hard to be kind to people. I know so many people that think that because they're poor or because they're in a situation where they don't really have the same benefits as other people, that they can just be grouchy and like spiteful to people, and it's really not true. I mean, so you have no reason whatsoever to be so mean to people. You really don't. I know things are not going the best for you, but that doesn't give you the right to be all nasty to people. It really does not, and it does not help your situation one little bit. So you need to figure out a way that you can be more joyful. You need to praise God. You need to say, God, I trust you. I know that you will help me through this. Surrender every aspect of your life to Jesus. That's why so many Christians are not happy, because they're not focused on Jesus. You need to figure out how to take every minute of your day and focus on Jesus. Now, I don't mean you have to spend every moment of your waking day reading the Bible, praying, all that kind of stuff. I know we have to go to work, but when you're at work, you can be an example to people. Like sometimes people turn into different people. It's amazing. I have seen it. Like cashiers, they can be the nicest person because they're at work, and and sometimes they're not, or sometimes they are nice to people except for when they're checking out people that work at Target. Like a lot of times with me, they would be nice to all the other customers, but then when I check out with them, they're like nasty, and how dare I have a coupon? How dare I want 5 cents for my bag? How in the world am I thinking that I can get away with that? Believe me, come on. I don't get it. I mean, that must be their true personality or something, that they only put on a game face and pretend that they're a nice person to all these customers, but they're really not. Maybe that's, I don't know. I just don't understand it. You being so nice to everybody except for people that work there or people of a certain color. Please. So there are many Christians that are not happy. They're not totally focused on Jesus. You can be an example to people at your work. You can be an example of how Jesus would be, how he would show love, how he would, how would he check out somebody who works there? How would he check out this person? And that reminds me of a story. I read a story a long time in a video. A long time ago, I read this story. And there was a girl who was working at the shoe store. And this was like back in the 40s, I think. Okay, so there was a family that came into the store, and they had like I think 6 kids or something like that, and they they didn't really look like they had any money. They kind of like looked poor, and it was during when they were selling tobacco, and so they come in and nobody wanted to help on them. Nobody wanted to help this family just because they looked disheveled and poor. And so the cashier, she was like, why isn't anybody helping them? Well, look, they don't have any money. We're not going to get any sales. And so the cashier decided that she would leave her post, which she probably wasn't supposed to do, and she would go help them. And since she helped them, they bought like, I think 6 pairs of shoes because they had just sold their tobacco. And so they had money to buy their kids shoes. And they sold like 8 pairs of shoes. Yeah, because it's 2 parents and 6 kids. 8 pairs of shoes, and it was like their highest sale that month or something like that. Just because she chose to take the higher road and help these people who looked poor and disheveled. That's how you need to be. You need to take the higher road and help people that don't look like they have money. Now, I know sometimes people on the street, it's hard to want to give them money because you think they're going to go buy alcohol or drugs with it. It's probably true. I know that's none of our business, but it is hard for me to give them money. And so sometimes I will go and like buy hot chocolate or something if it's cold, or some kind of meal, and I'll give that to them because it just makes me feel better, I guess. But there is one guy that I would give him money because I knew that he did not spend it on drugs. He would go and collect trash. He would pick up trash. That man was walking everywhere, and he picked up trash. And I saw him do it, and he was featured in the newsletter that we got in our neighborhood too. So I gave him money because I knew he was not, doing drugs and alcohol, drinking alcohol with it. So, there are exceptions, but we really do need to have compassion on people who are not as blessed or, have as much as we do, because that is what Jesus preaches. He's like, why do you have all these possessions if you're not willing to give them away? That's what you need to be, is willing to help somebody who is not in a position as well off as you. So they're not totally focused on Jesus. We must pursue God completely. In marriage, the order is God, husband, wife, kids. That's what I say, okay? This is what I say. God, husband, wife, kids. That's the order. That's what it goes in. God always comes first, husband always comes next, then the wife, then the kids. But so many people have that mixed up. It's kids, husband, God, wife. Yes, the wife always comes last because she's the mom, so she comes last. Or God, kids, husband, wife. No. Kids should never come before anything. Now, I do mean that in a certain way. I'm not saying that if it's 10 o'clock at night and you still haven't fed your kids because you are too busy with yourself, that's different. But I'm saying, like, people just think, oh, I can't take a shower because I'm just so busy with the kids. No, the kids can go do a quiet activity while you go take a shower. It's just ridiculous. Or wait till they take a nap, or wait till they go to bed, then take a shower. There's always a chance to take a shower. Yeah, you're tired, but take a shower because you need to take care of yourself. You need to take a day where you go to the spa and you get a massage, or something that you can afford. Maybe you can't afford that. Get a manicure. Buy soda. I say that if you can't afford to do these things, buy something that means a lot to you. If a manicure is too expensive, buy a soda. A soda is like $1. You can go to the dollar store and get a dollar soda. Because to me, a 20 ounce means a lot to me. Because, if somebody took the time to buy me a 20 ounce, that is like an amazing thing to me. It really means a lot to me. There's just something about the 20 ounce. I don't know what it is. But, like Phil and I, we will do something special for each other, and we'll buy each other a 20 ounce. It's just because we don't have it. We don't buy 12 packs. We have the soda stream, and so we just make our own soda. We use the Mio. And so we can just make individual sodas. And so getting a 20 ounce is like a big deal. And so, that's what we do for each other. And that's just it. You need to do something for yourself. You can't be a good mother if you're not taking care of yourself as well. So, kids should never come before anything, but I mean that realistically. Maybe I could say that. Wives always think that once the kids come, their needs fly right out the window, which I kind of already touched on. So, your needs may have to wait a couple more hours. You may have to wait till the kids go to bed and you can take a shower. Or a couple more days. Like, oh, little Johnny got sick. You were going to go to the spa that day, but little Johnny got sick. You had to take care of him. Make it up another day. There's just, and that's why it's really important too, like, if the husband really needs to help out in the family too. The wife, if she's a stay-at-home mom, she's been working all day. And husbands, do not ever, ever, ever think that because your wife is home, that all they're doing is playing, and maybe they are. I mean, if you have a wife who's just watching TV and not watching the kids, then you have a problem. But believe me, if the wife is a normal stay-at-home mom, they are cooking, cleaning, hearing mommy 17,000 times a day, trying to get the kids to nap, trying to put the kids on the toilet, put the kids, I don't know, all those things, clean the house. Don't ever think that she's not doing anything. The typical stay-at-home mom, she pretty much is working harder than somebody, sometimes, not always, depending on the job. Sometimes people who are working out in the field, their, workforce, sometimes their work is not as hard as somebody at home with kids. So, but it all depends. There are people who will disagree with me because they think, I work in an office and it's crazy. What are you talking about? I'm sorry, but that's the way it is. So, some jobs are harder than staying at home with kids, but really, staying home with kids is really hard work. So you need to come home and give the wife a break. She really needs a break from taking care of those kids. Believe me, like, when I had my daycare, the school kids, they were too old to take a nap. And so I really needed that quiet time while the other kids were sleeping. And so I would tell them, I think it was 10 minutes, I said, I need 10 minutes where nobody talks to me, nobody asks anything. I can just lay and close my eyes for 10 minutes. And it really made a big difference. And I told them, this will make me a better provider for you because I need that break where I can just get back to where I can relax. I just need a minute, 10 minutes. That's all I need. And of course, obviously, if there's an emergency, I'm, that's different. But, you need to let your requests be known to God. He knows everything, yes, but he still likes to hear from us. Worshipping God is a family affair. Once you neglect that, that's when the problems start. Be anxious for nothing. In everything, by prayer and supplication, give your requests to God. So how can you simplify supplication? He fell to his knees in supplication. That's what the online dictionary says. I think it's whatever the online dictionary is. The action of asking or begging for something earnestly or humbly. You need to give it all to God. Don't you love to be needed? I love to be needed. That's how God feels. He wants us to help us. He's not going to magically fix things, but He will help you along the way. So He will give you assistance, and while He's giving you assistance, He will give you peace. I know we're going a little bit over, but it shouldn't be too much longer. We're almost to the end. And always give thanks to God. He loves to hear thank you, as we do. Isn't it so nice that when you compliment someone and they say thank you? I have so many times complimented children on their hair or outfit or something like that. They don't say thank you. The parents don't say thank you. And I'm like, it's okay. You know, you don't have to say thank you, but I just don't understand it. Like, to me, I have been taught manners, like, dramatically. And so, like, I don't understand when people don't use manners. So I think that maybe they just weren't taught any better, and so I don't know. But anyway, I love it when they say thank you, especially when the kids say thank you themselves without being prompted by mom. That is so awesome. So when you compliment someone or give them a gift and they say thank you, doesn't that feel so good? God loves to hear the words thank you. When I was at church last Sunday, I observed a father with his baby. And I thought about how he probably knows that baby inside and out because he has known that baby since birth. He has studied that baby to determine its wants and its needs. Other than the mother and God, no one knows that baby better. That's how God is with us. God has known us since birth, so He's very aware of our wants. He knows, and He is willing to assist in any way He can. So that is my lesson thing that I wanted to do today. I hope you have a wonderful and blessed day. I hope you will share this video if you think that it will benefit someone. I hope you will comment. But otherwise, just have a wonderful and blessed day, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.